and lots of it. Viewer discretion is advised. If you don't like it or you are not old enough to watch, turn the channel. It's
Race renews his rivalry with David Von Erich on Wrestling at the Chase today. Hello, I'm Larry Matysik, and yes, you heard right. It's Harley Race versus David Von Erich on this program. Of course, you know the feud between Harley Race and the entire Von Erich family dates back a couple of years. Bad blood has sprung up between Kerry Von Erich and Harley Race, and today, David Von Erich versus Harley Race. That's one to stick around for. Mickey Garagiola will introduce the opening bout right after this.
Welcome to Wrestling at the Chase, the opening bout, a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Albuquerque, New Mexico, weighing 240 pounds, Gil Guerrero. From Indianapolis, Indiana, weighing 236 pounds, Spike Hubert. Referee, Ed Warren.
Spike Hubert takes on Gil Guerrero, the curtain raiser today on Wrestling at the Chase. Hubert sidesteps the wild rush of Gil Guerrero. Guerrero nearly went through those ropes and ended up in the first row. Guerrero shoved aside again. Arm drag by Spike Hubert. Guerrero charges off the ropes. Flying tackle. That one scored. Hubert waiting. Hip toss. Guerrero blocks it. Hip toss of his own. Hubert kicks out. Arm drag. Fast action. And Spike Hubert comes up on top with an arm lock. The crowd liked it. And they like Spike Hubert. They like his speed. They like his stick-to-itiveness, I guess you'd call it. They like his courage. He will take on anyone. Never fails to give less than 110%. Once more, the arm drag paid off there for Spike Hubert. Spike goes into the double wrist lock on Gil Guerrero. Good takedown by Gil Guerrero on Spike Hubert. Arm drag. Spike's strong, I'll tell you. It's more than just an arm drag if Spike can really get the leverage behind it. He whips those guys over, almost like a bullwhip. Cracks them right down on that mat. Guerrero tried to duck underneath the fireman's carry. Hubert blocked it. Tries to ride Guerrero into the backslide. He knows he's close to the ropes, and he simply hasn't got the space to put that backslide on. But if nothing else, Hubert saved himself one hard bounce by blocking the fireman's carry. Nice takedown by Spike. Guerrero seems a bit puzzled by the whole thing. Now he smiles. Maybe he's found a weakness in the armor of Spike Hubert. Maybe he thinks he can fool Spike Hubert into thinking he's going to be easy. He won't. Guarantee you that. Clean break by Gil Guerrero. So far, both grapplers have stuck to their knitting. Hubert and Guerrero end up in the corner. Ed Warren wants a break. Me and my big mouth. So much for clean breaks. Warren whip into the corner by Gil Guerrero. Guerrero pounds on Hubert. Ed Warren stops Guerrero and tells him to let Hubert out of that corner. Good work by Ed Warren. Hubert goes up on the second rope. He didn't take the turnbuckles. Guerrero charges it angrily. Arm drag! Spike Hubert staying in control. As soon as Guerrero started that arm whip across the ring, Hubert took a second's thought. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it's that computer mind that you have to have inside a wrestling ring. Controlled his momentum as he went across the ring, leaped right up on the turnbuckle. Didn't hurt him at all, and he was ready and waiting when Guerrero, angered that his move did not pay off, came charging in. Guerrero cannot escape the clutches of Spike Hubert. It's a hammerlock now by Hubert. Guerrero first must get to his feet if he intends to counter this hold. That's why Hubert's leaning into his back. Hubert yanks over, snapping the arm. Hubert pulls the arm up along the back of Gil Guerrero. Now Spike hooks his calf against the chin of Guerrero. Ed Warren checks that it's not on the windpipe. It isn't. Spike might be able to roll Guerrero over into a pinning position here. Hooks that arm, getting Guerrero just one shoulder over, but then the other shoulder pops up. Spike has to settle for an arm lock. Hip toss counter by Gil Guerrero. Well done by Guerrero. Huber was a real fine high school athlete, both in football and amateur wrestling. And of course, then he began to date Dick the Bruiser's daughter and came under the influence of the Bruiser. Dick taught him all the good and the bad that there can be in professional wrestling. Spike knew the good parts. He knows about the money. He knows about the crowd response, having the people cheering for you and appreciating your efforts. He knows the thrill it is to be up in that ring, come up with a victory, and he knows the bad parts too, the lonely nights on the road, living out of a suitcase, all the bumps and bruises, having to get in that ring with a broken finger, with cracked ribs. No insurance for these guys, knowing about all the problems. You're your own travel agent. Nobody makes those arrangements for you. The recent air controllers strike, really the one thing that hasn't put a crimp into is wrestling, because the wrestlers have put in the time and the effort that's necessary to handle a predicament and handle it very well. Most recent card that Sam Muchnick had, there was not a single substitution, yet 10 men had to fly in. Jack Briscoe had all sort of problems getting out of Florida. Dick Murdoch had trouble getting out of New Orleans, but they managed to book enough flights for all the cancellations and the changes that they made it here. They're pros. That's
5 minutes have expired, 5 minutes left.
no crying, no complaining. They did what was expected of them. Guerrero tries to come to his feet. It's still Spike Huber concentrating his attack on the left arm of Guerrero. Now Spike hooks the head into the hole. Ed Warren doing some very fine alert work. He was right in to check the throat. Side saddle suplex by Spike Huber. Call it a salto, if you will. That's how they know it in Europe. Front face lock now by Spike Huber on Guerrero. Once more, the referee right in to check that chin. It's clean. Guerrero complains he's choking. Warren finds out that's not true because his hand fit right over the throat. The pressure's up on the chin and the jaw. Guerrero bounced over the top by Huber. Guerrero taking a close look at Spike Huber. Huber has looked very sharp so far, but Guerrero has made his share of good moves too. There's a wrist lock by Gil Guerrero on Huber. Maybe Spike can muscle out of it. He has the power. You can imagine all the hours in a gym pumping iron Spike Huber has done. Instead he goes a little finesse, rolls out underneath. Goes for the legs of Guerrero. Guerrero ducks back and smiles at Huber as though to say, not this time, boy. You're not getting my ankle.
Wait, man, old Albuquerque was right there.
Just like Mickey Garagiola, a wrestler comes after him in that ring. He's agile, nimble, but not hostile.
Thanks a lot.
Nah, Mickey, you're a lover, not a fighter. We know that. Ed Warren checking the shoulders of Gil Guerrero. Guerrero scoots underneath the ropes. Why expend the energy necessary to get out of that hold when the ropes were right nearby? Once more, Guerrero and Huber tie up, and Guerrero pulls Huber forward into a side headlock.
3 minutes left, 3 minutes.
Guerrero tosses Huber down to the mat. Once more, Warren right in there, watching the shoulders. Huber muscling his way up. That's all strength coming up. Guerrero wasn't making it easy. He was trying to lean into the neck. Yeah, Huber has the same problem again because Guerrero put him right back down on the canvas. Spike trying to turn over. Wants to get in a standing position. It's always easier to counter from that position, obviously. Down he goes a third time. Guerrero going for a body press. Knowing time's getting a little short, and he might be able to catch Huber by surprise after the bounce. Huber pitches Guerrero away. Both men hit the ropes. Huber ducks. Huber waiting. Lifts Guerrero in the air. Here comes the airplane spin by Spike Huber. The airplane spin. Round and round. Huber stops. Lifts Guerrero. What's here? Oh, that back body drop. I think it's curtains for Guerrero. I'm sorry. Yes, Spike Huber. He's come up with a very unique combination off that airplane spin. I'll tell you, after the airplane spin with the back body drop following, that's pretty hard to recover from. Guerrero could not. Huber got the pin.
From Blackwell, Oklahoma, weighing 232 pounds, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Jack Briscoe. His opponent from Minnesota, weighing 245 pounds, Bill Irwin.
The site is Tampa, Florida, and it's Jack Briscoe against Bill Irwin. Briscoe giving away some size to Irwin. The former NCAA champion, Jack Briscoe, comes to grips with Irwin. Nice arm drag by Briscoe, flings Bill Irwin to the mat. Again, they tie up in a second arm drag by Briscoe. Irwin charges, Briscoe's waiting again. Quickness was always one of the strengths of Jack Briscoe, and it still is. Don't forget, Briscoe was one of the younger world heavyweight champions ever when he dethroned Harley Race back in 1973 in Houston, Texas. Jack was truly a brilliant world heavyweight champion, and he's right at the top of the list right now, chasing Dusty Rhodes in the gold belt. And of course, what happens when Briscoe and Ken Patera square off in that Texas death match, that could well determine who's going to get cracks at major titles. A lot at stake when Briscoe and Patera go at it in a Texas death match. Anything goes. Falls don't count. The winner is declared. When one man concedes the bout, the referee stops the match due to injury, or someone cannot answer a 10 count after the 30-second rest period between falls. No time limit. Anything goes.
Find that word.
I want to talk about what ails you, and I'm talking about ALES. What do you consider the world's greatest beer and why, Mr. Hatton?
I think the Guinness is the world's greatest beer. It's great for strength. It puts lead in your pencil. And I also enjoy the taste.
Because pear's so small and mighty is concentrated, it only takes half the water to make it. Half the packaging to put it in. And half the lorries to deliver it. Every child has a right to a nicer world.
When a sore throat makes you fade into the background, you need Strepsils. Strepsils not only soothes pain fast, so you can feel like yourself again, but its active ingredients keep on working, and working, even after the lozenge has gone. Strepsils, first aid for sore throats.
Valentine's Day approaches and love is in the air. What's the name of your perfect Valentine? Find out with Cupid's Call. Subscribe by texting your name and birth date to 61061. Cupid's Call harnesses the power of names and the zodiac to calculate the name of your true Valentine. Text your name and birth date to 61061. Find out what Cupid has in mind for you. Text your name and birth date to 61061 now. £3 per text, 3 per week.
Hardcore fighting, Monday at 5 p.m. only on the Fight Network.
Find that word.
Briscoe and Patera have been at it before. They've tried to destroy each other. Well, they've really got a chance in a Texas death match. Briscoe working with his knee on the shoulder of Bill Irwin, grinding that shoulder, then twists the arm so more pressure's in the shoulder. Talk about the great scientific ability of someone like Pat O'Connor. Well, Jack Briscoe certainly fits right into that class. Undefeated in high school competition in the state of Oklahoma. He won the state high school wrestling title every time he competed. NCAA champion. He only lost one match in college, a 4-year career. And you know, of course, of his credentials as a professional. Toss in there, too, when he was playing high school football, he was all-state as a fullback. The drop kick there by Briscoe. Irwin brought to his feet by Briscoe. Jack always aggressive, always combative. He goes to the figure 4 leg lock, the figure 4 leg lock on Bill Irwin. What happens if he can get that on Ken Patera in the Texas death match and snap that knee of Patera? That would be interesting. It's Briscoe with the figure 4 leg lock on Irwin, who submits, and Jack Briscoe, the former world and Missouri champion, has another victory. We're back with more in a moment.
The main event, a one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing 253 pounds, former world heavyweight champion Harley Race. And from Denton, Texas, weighing 237 pounds, David Von Erich, referee Charles Veneta.
How many promoters do you think called Sam Muchnick this week wanting to know how he does it time and time again? Harley Race against David Von Erich. Main event here, main event in Tokyo, main event in Atlanta, main event in Dallas. It's a main event anywhere, I'll guarantee you that fact. Race and Von Erich. And admire Harley Race. Give him the credit he deserves because he's already signed to meet David's brother, Kerry. Race knows that in order to get back at the World Heavyweight Championship, in order to get another chance at the gold belt, he has to go through the absolute best. And that means people like the Von Erichs. Von Erich with a hip toss on Race. David ducks beneath Race and flips him right over the top. Side headlock, and David Von Erich flings Harley Race down. Over the next few weeks, Harley Race could be sitting on top of the world. Or it could be knocked all the way down right to the bottom. And really have a tough road ahead of him. But Race likes the going tough. Very unorthodox wrestler. And man, that's one of the reasons he's been so successful. Look at that bridge by David Von Erich. Beautiful bridge. Coming all the way up and riding Race back down with the side headlock. David's tall, but he's lean, hard. Tremendous tendon strength that David Von Erich has, developed through the years of competition on the basketball floor and in wrestling. Don't forget, by the time that David Von Erich was able to walk, his father, Fritz, had him down on the mat. He was stretching him out real good, developing that physical toughness that the body must develop for this business. There are no pads on these guys. They're there with a pair of tights. When they slam into each other, a 250, 260-pound man, it stings, it hurts. And it doesn't take long if you're going to last before that body gets hard. And David Von Erich has that lean, hard body, as Harley Race has just found out, as he knows from past experience. One of the great rivalries right here, the Von Erichs and Harley Race. You can talk about the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. You can talk about the Blues and the Blackhawks. You can talk about the football Cardinals and the Bears. Talk about any combination of rivalries you want, and certainly the Von Erichs and Race rates right up there. Any Von Erich. And that includes Father Fritz from a few years back. It includes Kevin Von Erich. It includes David Von Erich. And it may very well include Kerry Von Erich. Remember last weekend here on Wrestling at the Chase, Kerry and Race were on opposite sides of a tag match. Kerry's team won it. And then Race came into the ring to help his partner avoid a pin. Kerry Von Erich leaped in, drop-kicked Race right out of the ring and over the top rope. David twisting Race's head. Race barks out, no, no, no. Race knows all about the Iron Claw, that's for sure. He's found out the hard way there, too. Remember when David Von Erich really burst into international prominence right here on Wrestling at the Chase? It was in a handicap match against Harley Race. David caught Race in the claw and opened up Race's head, and they had to help Race from the ring. And from that point on, everyone knew that David Von Erich had hit his stride, that he was a force with which to be reckoned in the professional wrestling world. Race tries to put his full body weight against the stomach of David. He does so, pushes him to the ropes and away. Race ducks. Race waiting with a beautiful drop kick by the former world champion. Beautifully done by Race. Diving headbutt. Von Erich rolled away. Von Erich avoided the diving headbutt. Drop kick by David. Race comes up groggily. Side headlock hit. Race once more trapped to the mat by David Von Erich. Race tries to push his way up. Race with a punch into the stomach of David Von Erich, but David hangs on to the side headlock. David gives that headlock a little extra pressure, making it that much more difficult for Race to counter. Race almost as though he's trying to bear hug David into him. He might well try that. Harley has tremendous power in his upper body. His strength is greatly underestimated. Ken Patera may be the world's strongest wrestler, possibly the world's strongest man, but Harley Race with a totally different method of training and a totally different background, probably isn't too far behind Patera in terms of pure raw strength. That is one very, very strong individual there, Harley Race. Race puts Von Erich on the ropes. The referee orders Race to break it. And a headbutt right to the jaw. Oh, he slammed that home. Race uses his head, uses his body like a battering ram. There's that headbutt again. David Von Erich knocked up against the ropes by Race. A punch to the mouth by Harley Race on David Von Erich. Nobody is more savage when he senses victory or senses an injured opponent than Harley Race. David, waiting. Oh, he clotheslines Race, nearly taking Race's head off. Von Erich covers Race. This could be it. They got him too. Race gets away. He was caught by surprise. Von Erich clotheslining Race as he came off the mat. Body slam. Tremendous body slam by David Von Erich. He covers Race. Race kicks Von Erich off. Harley coming up slowly. And Race pitched down by David Von Erich. David looking extremely sharp right now, giving Harley Race everything and more that Race could have expected. I like those body slams David Von Erich is doing. He's adding a little more body motion and body momentum from himself to those body slams. He's turning into one wicked body slam deliverer, if you want to call it that. David twists the head of Race. Tension mounting a little bit right now. Race cannot seem to generate any offense against David Von Erich. He had things going with those headbutts, but David turned it around. Race slamming the mat. Frustration, pain, a little bit of both. As David squeezes the cheeks together of Harley Race. Young David Von Erich, right up there in the upper echelon, among the elite in professional wrestling. Race never underestimates an opponent. He's learned that the hard way, too. Everything Harley Race has learned in wrestling's come the hard way. He didn't have the formal teaching. He didn't have the formal background. He paid the price with his body by taking his lumps, by being psyched out psychologically occasionally against opponents. He remembered what happened to him, and he's learned how to use almost everything to his advantage. Race, oh, flying cross body block. He smacks his own chest, his own body into David. David Von Erich stuns something new from Harley Race. And we said he uses his body like a battering ram, and there's a perfect example. Race flinging himself 255 pounds into the air and slamming himself into Von Erich. Headbutt right on the forehead, knocks David clear across the ring. Von Erich has to be seeing cobwebs now, if he's seeing anything. David tries to come back. A second blast to the midsection. Von Erich pounding on the stomach of Race. A hard punch to the head by Von Erich. A headbutt from Race. Dog eat dog now. Race and Von Erich. Flying there by Harley. Race trying to line Von Erich up with a diving headbutt. And he scores with it right to the head of Von Erich. It stuns Race a little bit too, but Race is willing to pay that price because he knows it will hurt his opponent more. Think of the sheer intestinal fortitude it takes on the behalf of Race to be willing to take the punishment he gives himself, just hurting an opponent. There's the knee drop across David's head. Race covers Von Erich. Count of 1. At 2, David slips away from Race. The crowd begins to yell, "Go, David, go!" Race lifting David. What's he have in my head? A standing pile driver? Maybe a shoulder breaker? It's a standing pile driver. Oh, the standing pile driver. This could be curtains for Von Erich. He gets away again. How's he doing it? Race can't believe it. That standing pile driver has almost always meant victory for Harley Race. Something he's dusted off, but David took the standing pile driver, and he's still in there battling.
10 minutes have passed, 10 minutes left.
David blocks the punch and fights back right to the mouth of Race. David surviving the standing pile driver. He covers Race. Race throws David off. Two tough, hard men in there. Headbutt to the abdomen by Race. Driving his head right into the lower abdomen of David Von Erich. Race going for the pile driver. He tried the standing pile driver. He has David in the air. Another pile driver delivered from a second way. Oh, David could have sustained a neck injury from that pile driver. That's two pile drivers from different angles that Race has scored with. Race still not content. He's not going for a pin. He stops right on the chest of David Von Erich.
Find that word.
Hey, Stog. You ever scoop the dog's poop and eat it with your mouth? Does the dog ever put you on a leash? Hey, you're ugly. You smell like chili. You smell like vegan chili. Hey, is that dog your boyfriend? Because you couldn't get a real boyfriend? I got an idea. Why doesn't the dog give you a bone?
Relive the glory years of British wrestling with the captivating World of Sport. Enjoy heart-stirring moments from the likes of Big Daddy, Giant Haystacks, Mick McManus, Jackie Pallo, Les Kellett, Kendo Nagasaki, and many more. Hosted as always by Kent Walton. World of Sport, Saturdays from 1 p.m. only on the Fight Network.
Direct Line Home Insurance. Receive free ID theft assistance and a third off buildings and contents cover when bought together. Available direct from us. It pays to be with the right insurer. Call 0845 246 3532 or visit directline.com.
Because Purcell's Small and Mighty is concentrated, it only takes half the water to make it. Half the packaging to put it in. And half the lorries to deliver it. Every child has a right to a nicer world.
When a cold chill begins to burn at your very soul, that's the sweet touch of love. Oh, when just a drop of a name begins to sting your very toe, that's the sweet touch of love. Oh, yes it is. Just the thought of not seeing you would blow my mind.
Well, hallelujah, I'm getting money too, more power to ya. But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write, you ain't nice. What Pap can't do, the lyrical one can. I hit the mixtape circuit for a few months span. Now you run around screaming, Pat, push up, man. But I've been nice since they used to shoot up jams. G-Packs on the block trying to move $1 grand. Everybody scatter when the knobs pull up vans. Man, it's hard in the hood, gotta use your plans. When you get some real money, cop you some land. Better watch how you choose your mans. Ass had they turn, but they don't wanna give you your chance. I ain't asked you for no favors when you blew up scrams. I mix baking soda with coke and blew up grams. Your fans become mine when we do one jam. I'm like an air conditioner, I make you lose your fans. And you know this. But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice. I never go with that.
But he is taking assignment, looking for his shot.
Oh, a tremendous hook sends Goulet down to the canvas. It is over. No more controversy.
Unbelievable.
Find that word.
Ray Stolz is going to take more than a pound. There is Harley going outside the ring. Crawling up on the rope. Race up on the rope to dive on David, but David's there. He grabs Race. David has Race's body in control. If he can lift him off and slam him. Oh. The crowd screaming. A tremendous battle between Race and David Von Erich. Two pile drivers and David still in there. Flying elbow drop by Von Erich. Von Erich covers Race. And at two, Race throws Von Erich off. David again, the flying elbow drop, and Race rolled away. Don't ever count him out. Don't count out Von Erich. Don't count out Race. Neither man will break. David missed missing the flying elbow drop, and Race rolled away. Race grabs the side saddle suplex. The side saddle suplex by Race, who's a master of all methods of suplex. Race lines up there, flying elbow drop, and David got out of the way. Race waited a second too long. He thought that David was a bit groggier than he was, and David managed to get out of the way. Race won't stay down. Huh, what more could you ask for? What a battle, what a confrontation between Race and David Von Erich. David pitches Race to the rope. Flying tackle, they both crack heads, and Race goes right out of the ring and down to the floor, both men down. Race outside the ring, David inside the ring. The referee counting on Race, a heavy collision. Both men groggy anyhow from the wear and tear of this tremendous battle. Race trying to regain his bearings. Before the count of 10, David was on his feet inside the ring, so he avoided being counted out on the mat. He was up at 8. Race has 20 outside on the floor. Race reaches inside and grabs the leg of David Von Erich. Race pulls David outside the ring. Look out here. David Von Erich, as you can see, slammed into the press table by Harley Race. The table dismantled from the force of Race slamming David into that table. David trying to pull himself up and come up to the apron. The referee trying to keep Race back. Race grabbing David and yanking his head down over the top cable, strangling David over that top rope. Von Erich in trouble outside the ring from the assault of Harley Race. David reaches up. He grabs Race, trying to pull Race outside, but Race has the advantage right there. He lifts David to the apron, going for the suplex. The suplex, but David gets away from it. Back rolling cradle by David Von Erich on a 1 and a 2. Race gouges the eyes of David Von Erich. What a fantastic match between Race and David Von Erich. Everything that Race has dished out, David has been able to withstand and still come back and put Race in all sorts of trouble. David fighting back toe-to-toe, Race and Von Erich. David getting the better of it right now. He's going for the pile driver on Race. David Von Erich gives Race a pile driver. Von Erich with a pile driver on Race. David covers Race. Race puts his leg on that bottom rope. Oh, that experience, that instinct. Race always knows where he is. David angrily goes in stride. Race and pounds on Harley.
15 minutes have passed, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes remaining. David Von Erich tosses Race and puts on the claw. There it is, the iron claw. The iron claw by David Von Erich on Harley Race, right in the middle of the ring. This could be it for Race. David grinding in with that iron claw on Race. Race trying to get to the ropes, reaching out for the ropes. He may not have enough left to get there. He grabs that rope and pushes Von Erich into the ropes. The referee forces Venator to break the iron claw. Forces Von Erich rather to break the iron claw. Race hanging on to those ropes. Oh, he saw that stomach exposed. Race spotted that stomach exposed and drove the headbutt in there. Harley blinking, his eyes look glassy, but he still knows where Von Erich is. He scored with a punch. Von Erich fighting back. Race and Von Erich both showing the signs of this grueling duel. Neither man able to come up with the right combination to put his opponent down. Oh, did Race ever slam that head in there to the jaw of Von Erich? I don't think David's going to be eating steak tonight. He'll be sipping through a straw. He's taking some shots to the jaw from Race. Race going for the suplex. Race gets it. The suplex by Race. That's Race's favorite. When he's in the most trouble, he'll try that suplex. Race going up to the second rope. He's legal He's lining him up for the diving headbutt and misses. David rolled away. David going up on the ropes himself. David's legal from there. Giant left the claw. No, he went for a diving claw. He has the claw on Race.
3 minutes left. 3 minutes.
For the second time in this fabulous battle, it's David Von Erich with the iron claw and Harley Race. Race trying to get away, looking for those ropes again. David kicks the hands off the ropes. David kicking the hands off the ropes. He has Race in the middle. There's plenty of time left, still over 2 minutes remaining. I don't care how tough Race is, I don't think even he can hang on under the stress of the iron claw that long. Race grabbing the referee, and Race! Oh, Race slamming the referee, Charles Benader into David Von Erich. Benader cracked his head into the jaw of Von Erich. Von Erich pitched through the ropes and out of the ring by Race. The referee is down and injured. Race going outside the ring after David Von Erich. David stunned after hitting head first with the referee. He's going for a suplex outside the ring on the concrete floor. Oh, Race with a suplex on David Von Erich outside the ring. David's been hurt. His legs quivering. He's been hurt. The referee calling for the bell. I'm sure he's going to disqualify Race for slamming him into Von Erich, but that doesn't no way justify what Race just did to David Von Erich. Race going up on the top rope. Race slapping at Benader. David Von Erich has been injured. Down on the floor, badly hurt. He's holding his shoulder. Here comes Kerry Von Erich. Von Erich pushes Race into the ring. Kerry Von Erich shoving Race away from the Benader and also Von Erich. Kerry ripped him off his jacket. Kerry Von Erich. See what has happened to his brother. Kerry Von Erich after Race. Kerry grabs Race. Race diving out of the ring, falling into the table, crawling behind our table to get away from Kerry Von Erich. Race crawling behind the table. David still down on the concrete. Here comes Bobo Brazil. Spike Huber. David has been hurt. Kerry Von Erich looking hard at Race and Race. Heading to the dressing room. Kerry Von Erich really had no choice. That was his brother. That was his brother down there on the floor who took that suplex on the concrete floor. David bent forward. Brazil and Spike Huber trying to help David get to his feet. David is on his feet. He's shaking pretty badly. They'll have a doctor take a good look at him. Kerry Von Erich coming to... Mickey's microphone has been destroyed. I think we'll have to handle the announcement from here. Charles Benader coming down the steps. Charlie, disqualification for...
Disqualification because Harley is missing.
Slammed him into you. Okay. Okay. Charlie a little groggy right now for handling the referee, but the match does end in a disqualification. David Von Erich is the winner, and we'll be back with more after this.
The third match, a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Jonesboro, Arkansas, weighing 232 pounds, Tim Leonard. From Denton, Texas, weighing 248 pounds, Kerry Von Erich.
Kerry Von Erich opposes Tim Leonard, but I'm sure his thoughts right now on his brother Leonard. Jumping Kerry Von Erich from behind. Leonard jumping Kerry when he turned his back to take his jacket off. Referee Eddie Warren trying to restore order. Kerry, his temper probably a little short anyway after what happened between him and Harley Race after Race gave David Von Erich, Kerry's brother, a suplex on the concrete floor and injured David. Kerry whips Leonard to the ropes, catches him coming off with a stomach claw. The stomach claw lifting Leonard in the air, high into the air. Do you believe that? And slamming him down. The stomach claw by Kerry Von Erich, and Leonard submits. Kerry Von Erich, still infuriated. You can see he's geared up. The muscles are all just flexed and tense. And when Leonard jumped in from behind, Kerry just blew, and I mean, that was it. Leonard just got blown right out of this building by Kerry Von Erich with the stomach claw. I hope Harley Race saw that. Here's Mickey.
In 39 seconds, with the stomach claw, the winner, Kerry Von Erich.
You must have mixed emotions right now. You blew Tim Leonard right out of the building. but they had to carry your brother out of the studio after what Harley Race did to him.
That's right. Unfortunately, that's what happened to Dave. He's all right. His shoulder and his neck is injured, but he's okay. He's not in the hospital, so thank the good Lord for that.
Yeah, I imagine you'll have some doctors take a look at him, though, make sure there's no serious injury there. The point is, though, what Race did to him on the floor with that suplex, that's what you have to look forward to when you wrestle Race head-to-head. He'll do anything.
Man, that's one man I've always wanted. I wanted him for so long. It's had me a gut feeling inside. This man, I've seen him wrestle against my brothers, my dad, and I've seen him win any way that he possibly can. And so Harley Race, I'm going to wrestle you any way I possibly can. I'm going to beat you any way I possibly can. I'm looking forward to that match, Race.
Of course, you know from Race, though, sure, he's rough and he'll throw the rule book away, but his fundamentals are good. He's a good defensive wrestler. You have to be careful. You can't let your temper run away.
Well, Harley Race is one of the finest wrestlers in the world right now. Of course, just lost the title. I feel confident one day he'll have it back, but hopefully I'll have it back before him and he'll be defending against me. I'm looking forward to the match, like I said. I'm in the best condition I've been in all my years in pro wrestling. I'm quicker, I'm faster, and I know all of Harley Race's weak points right now.
And of course, you also know that this match alone could catapult you into a crack at Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, for sure. If I beat Harley Race, I should be the next man in line for the World Heavyweight title, which is our lifelong goal.
Well, Kerry Von Erich has certainly made his presence known. I know you want to get back and check on David. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us, Kerry.
Thank you, sir.
Kerry Von Erich, mixed emotions today, that's for sure. But he certainly let Harley Race know that he was around, and so did Kerry's brother, David. We'll be back with more after this.
Find that word!
Oh, you getting money? Well, hallelujah. I'm getting money too. More power to ya. But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice. What Pep can't do, the lyrical one can. I hit the mixtape circuit for a few months span. Now you run around screaming, Pat, push up, man. But I've been nice since they used to shoot up jams. G-packs on the block trying to move $1,000. Everybody scatter when the knobs pull up vans. Man, it's hard in the hood, gotta use your plans. When you get some real money, cop you some land. Better watch how you choose your mans. Ass had they turn, but they don't wanna give you your chance. I ain't asked you for no favors when you blew up scrams. I mixed baking soda with coke and blew up grams. Your fans become mine when we do one jam. I'm like an air conditioner, I make you lose your fans.
And you know this.
But what the fuck that got to do with the mic? I analyze every rhyme you write. You ain't nice.
Isn't it annoying when things aren't complete? Especially when you've got all the symptoms of cold and flu. That's why we've created new Lemsip Max Strength All-in-One, our most complete remedy ever. So, when you're suffering from a chesty cough, headache, fever, blocked nose, or sore throat, Lemsip Max All-in-One gives you all the help you need. New Lemsip Max All-in-One, our most complete remedy ever.
Fact. Warm, moist conditions are a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. Fact. Most spray cleaners don't kill bacteria. But new Dettol Multi-Action Bathroom 4-in-1 spray, 1. Kills 99.9% of bacteria, 2. Removes limescale better than the leading bathroom cleaner, 3. Removes soap scum as well as the leading bathroom cleaner, and 4. Freshens whilst it cleans. Dettol protects. Fact.
Dental experts are telling us the enamel on your teeth gets worn away because your teeth are exposed to an acidic environment. Juices, carbonated drinks, even fresh fruit. You probably wouldn't notice. The dentist can see there's a thinning of the enamel. There's things we can do. Carry on eating a good range of foods. Go and have a conversation with your dentist. Sensodyne Pronamel helps re-harden the enamel. It's specifically designed to help protect your teeth from acid erosion.
Hey, Stog, you ever scoop the dog's poop and eat it with your mouth? Does the dog ever put you on a leash? Hey, you're ugly. You smell like chili. You smell like vegan chili. Hey, is that dog your boyfriend? Because you couldn't get a real boyfriend? I got an idea. Why doesn't the dog give you a bone?
You want to dance? Then come to the ballroom, and you better be ready
continues to work.
He is out on his feet.
Put away those sissy dancing shoes. This is ballroom boxing.
Oh, just a hammering body shot.
It's the ultimate dance floor for boxing stars of tomorrow.
Big right hand, a big right hand. That was a crunching shot.
Ballroom boxing. Get it on. The Fight Network. The Fight Network.
Introducing from Benton Harbor, Michigan, weighing 285 pounds, Bobo Brazil. And from Memphis, Tennessee, weighing 230 pounds, David Price.
The conditions, most falls to curfew. The opponents, Bobo Brazil and David Price. Brazil pushes Price to the ropes. When Bobo Brazil came by on his way to the ring, he says, I would think they better take David and have a doctor get a look at him. Which I'm sure they will. They'll check after what happened when Harley Race gave David Von Erich a suplex on the concrete floor. After Race had been trapped in the iron claw right in the middle of the ring and looked in desperate trouble. It looked as though Race was just about finished. And then Harley reached out, grabbed referee Charles Benader, and drove Benader into Von Erich. With the referee down, Race then pitched David Von Erich outside the ring, gave him the suplex on the concrete floor. Then he crawled up on the top rope. He was arguing with Benader. I'm sure Kerry Von Erich, seeing on the closed circuit sets that are in the dressing rooms, realizing that David had been hurt, and seeing that Race was up on the top rope, knowing the situation was out of control, had to be afraid that Race might be ready to jump on his own brother, on David. So naturally, Kerry came down to look out for his brother, and Bobo Brazil and Spike Huber also came out to see if they could help in restoring some order. The official verdict, Race disqualified. The result, well, a lot of anger on the part of Kerry Von Erich, I'm sure. And certainly a score that David Von Erich will be looking to settle along the way against Harley Race somewhere. And I'm curious about Race's point of view. Beleaguered, certainly right in the middle of everything. He had a terrific match with David Von Erich. He got into trouble at the end. Now he's got to step right out of the frying pan into the fire against Kerry. And you saw what Kerry did to Tim Leonard. Think how psyched up Kerry's going to be when he squares off with Race. Think how psyched up Briscoe and Patera are going to be. And they get in that ring with no rules, essentially. No strangling. That's about it. Anything else goes when Briscoe and Patera lock horns in the first Texas death match in St. Louis since March the 25th of 1977. Sam Muchnick had said he would never again present a Texas death match, but only through the pleas, the arguments, the good arguments of Jack Briscoe and the stature that Briscoe has in the wrestling business. Because of all that, Sam Muchnick has lifted his ban on Texas death matches, at least in this one instance. So Briscoe and Patera in a Texas death match. Anything goes. The winner declared, essentially, when one man cannot go on.
5 minutes left, 5 minutes.
Bobo Brazil dropping Price with an elbow smash to the top of the head. Knee lift by Bobo Brazil. That sends Price flying. Brazil twists the arm and Price cries out. Interesting contrast on that upcoming card. You have the death match. Virtually anything going. You have the bad feelings between Kerry Von Erich and Harley Race. That certainly won't be any Sunday school picnic. Then you got a match in there, Pat O'Connor against Billy Robinson. Two of the finest scientific wrestlers ever to step inside a squared circle anywhere. Robinson and O'Connor. That'll be something totally different, and I guess it gives you a touch and a taste of everything on one program. Sergeant Slaughter coming in, big and mean. Von Roschke there, Rufus R. Jones. Look at the day's card here on Wrestling at the Chase. Look at the names. Look at that main event. Harley Race and David Von Erich. Here's Bobo Brazil against a tough young customer, David Price. Price pounding on Brazil. Brazil pounds right back. That's one big man. He's about 6'6", comes in around 285, 290 pounds. Bobo, a native of East St. Louis, of course. Well, he makes his home now in Benton Harbor, Michigan. That punch spins David Price and drops him. Bobo was a tremendous baseball player before he went into wrestling. Played first base, had great power, obviously.
Bad hands.
Did you see him play?
No, but I'd say he must have had bad hands, but he's got good hands in that ring, the way he's
so
chopping
big.
around. Oh, my God.
Take a baseball, make it look like a golf ball.
Good target to throw to, too, at first base.
Yeah, that's for sure. think Gary Templeton can find him, don't you?
He better move like Keeter Hernandez.
Brazil giving David Price a taste of his own medicine. That upsets Charles Venator, who's had a pretty rough day anyhow. Give the referee some credit. He took a hard bounce himself when he was thrown into David Von Erich. In fact, when he left the ring, he was still trying to regain his bearings, but he realized what had happened, that it was Race's fault, and he made the correct decision. He made the right call. He disqualified Race. Brazil's head slammed into the buckle. Slammed there again. I don't think Bobo's too impressed. 3 times is the charm. Oh, Bobo takes a look at him. He wanted to nail him, and Price goes scooting across the ring and says, wait a minute.
He was trying to get his head size that time.
Did you see the eyes on Bobo? Mickey almost fell off the chair. No wonder Price ran across that ring. I think Bobo was a little upset. Price tentatively reaches out that hand, and Brazil brings Price right out of the corner.
2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
It's most falls to curfew between Bobo Brazil and David Price. No falls yet. Brazil tosses Price to the ropes, ducks underneath, rolls over. Price still flying over the top. Brazil waiting with a hip toss. A lot of strength right there. Bobo took him off his feet with one arm, and Price comes in around 230 pounds. Bobo grapevines the leg side suplex. Nicely delivered by Bobo Brazil, the side suplex. He shoved off the top, though, Brazil is, by David Price, hanging in there after that hard side suplex. Bobo grapevines the leg a second time and slams Price down. That might turn the trick. Oh, hey, Price, tough boy, hanging in there after 2 side suplexes. Price throws a punch in the midsection. I think he's doing it on instinct now, and so he's just flailing away. He arm whips Brazil into the corner, charges in. Brazil catches him with his legs. Oh! That's a way to get a headache. The heel right into the head.
1 minute left, 1 minute.
The headbutt from Bobo Brazil. Brazil levels Price with the headbutt. He's on top, and he has the pin. Bobo Brazil with the headbutt. And you have to give David Price a little credit. He hung in there after those 2 side suplexes, and he really put the pressure on Bobo Brazil, but Brazil had it when it counted, and that headbutt finished it off. That's the only fall we're going to fit into curfew, so that makes Bobo Brazil the winner of the match. Here's Mick.
With time running out, the winner of the only fall with the headbutt and the match, Bobo Brazil.
Bobo Brazil with the victory over David Price, and that's greeted with a lot of cheers here in the KPLR TV studio. Bobo Brazil, like the Von Erichs, one of the big favorites here in the greater St. Louis area. And of course, what happened today, well, here's a look at some of it. There's Harley Race being thrown to the ropes by David Von Erich. Race coming off with a flying tackle where they both cracked heads. That's what knocked Race over the top rope and out of the ring. Both men taking a heavy collision, and that was typical of what happened during that tremendous match between Harley Race and David Von Erich. The end came, of course, with Race disqualified and David Von Erich hurt. We'll check on him and let you know next weekend. We'll see you again, same time, same place.
You've been watching Wrestling at the Chase. This program has been produced by Sam Muchnick in cooperation with the St. Louis Wrestling Club.